Susan Holt, who's standing by. Always a pleasure to have you with us, Premier Holt. Thanks for your time today.
Thanks for having me, Todd.
Okay, broad strokes, your reaction. What do you think?
Well, from New Brunswick's perspective, there's a lot in this budget that aligns with our strengths, our unique characteristics, and the ways that we want to go about building the economy here. So I'm encouraged to see them come good on their commitment to defense spending. You may know that New Brunswick is home to one of the largest training bases, the largest military base in Eastern Canada in CFB Gagetown, and we are the home to cyber security and cyber defense expertise. So we're looking to see that defense investment land here in New Brunswick and benefit those sectors of our economy. And then the critical minerals piece that was called out in the budget aligns with our emphasis on returning New Brunswick to its once mining greatness with projects like the Sisson mine that we are going to see advanced under this budget.
Yeah, let me ask you about the critical minerals. We know that there's a lot of buzz internationally about this now, and the Chinese worries about them putting a stranglehold on it. Canada has said, look, we've got lots of these minerals and we're open for business. How would that impact New Brunswick specifically, Premier Holt?
Well, New Brunswick is in that exact boat. We have lots of these minerals. New Brunswick is home to 21 of Canada's 34 critical minerals. I mentioned the tungsten and molybdenum mine in the Sisson mine. So that's one that is ready to be developed, and we're looking forward to moving it on to the next stage where we can see the kind of good jobs coming out of that, as well as a mineral that is critical to our defense interests and to our green economy interests. We have other mines that we're ready to get going up in the north and Mount Pleasant, and because we have the antimony, the indium, the kinds of minerals that Canada needs to protect its position globally, and that our allies are also looking for.
Are you concerned at all about the amount of deficit spending here in the budget, or do you think this makes sense given what Canada is facing, in particular from the United States, but other commitments? I mentioned NATO and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it's always something that we want to watch, and I appreciate that there was some significant figures in terms of savings and cuts to come, because we need to look at levels of deficit that we can manage as a country. And so I was encouraged to see that comparatively, this puts Canada, continues to keep Canada in a great position fiscally compared to the G7. It's a bit the same as New Brunswick. We have the lowest debt to GDP ratio east of Saskatchewan. And so even though we're running a deficit budget right now, we are investing in the things that New Brunswickers want to see and that our economy is going to benefit from.
Yeah, and to the trade war itself, and I know you're following this very closely because of the impact that it has in New Brunswick as well. Your take on what we might see, what you would like to see here, because it seems like we're kind of stuck in a limbo situation right now.
Yeah, it does seem that way. And we have an extremely unpredictable negotiating partner in the U.S. whose rhetoric changes by the day about what kind of tariffs they're going to put on us. What matters to New Brunswick right now, it's the softwood duties. Those duties that have gone up to 45% are hammering a huge part of our economy and a huge part of Canada's economy, because jobs in the forestry sector are in the tens of thousands. It's larger than steel and aluminum, larger than the auto sector in terms of its impact to the Canadian economy and certainly to the New Brunswick economy. And so we want to see and have been reassured by the Prime Minister and by Minister LeBlanc that they will continue to work to get the softwood duties off, to get CUSMA on the table for renegotiation and moving as urgently as possible so we can get to a place where we're free of tariffs. But I will say what I see in this budget and really want to see turned into action is the language around diversification. We are all looking to new markets right now, and thankfully, a lot of European countries and Asian countries are looking to New Brunswick and looking to Canada to buy things that they maybe once bought from the U.S. So those supports to diversify our markets need to come and come fast, because it's a big ship to turn. We want to do it at speed, and so we'd like to see the details of these investments in diversification coming straight on the heels of this budget so that we can get to business signing new clients in other countries while the U.S. continues to spin itself around with the irrationality of a president who's put illegal tariffs in place on our economy.
Susan Holt is the Premier of New Brunswick, joining us today from Fredericton. Her reaction to the federal budget. Thanks so much for this, Premier.
Yeah, thanks. It's a pleasure. Have a good day, Todd.
You as well.